I read on your website you had to break up with alcohol. Like, what does that mean?
So my little brother proposed to his girlfriend. He's 4 years younger than me, and so it just kind of I feel like it woke me up to just the fact that I wasn't married yet, or I wasn't even on the way to that, and it just kind of, like, forced me to look at my own life. I felt like I either needed to make a change or it would just stay the same, and so I just felt like I had just a really, it's kinda like a breaking point, and
Mhm.
I just decided, like, I had to stop. I had to just, like, become obsessed with, like, not drinking.
Kate, Christian, what's up? How are you?
Good.
Good. Are you nervous?
Little bit.
Don't be nervous. This is just our fun podcast. Listen, it's dry January. I wanted to have you in because you created the Midland Mocktail Hour. Tell us what that is.
Okay, so basically, they are, events that I host at different bars, like local bars, where we get together as a sober curious or sober community and meet like-minded people. And it actually started with this, Midland Sobriety Society, that I started back in March of this year, and eventually kind of pivoted into Midland Mocktail Hour.
Do you work with local bars and restaurants to put together these mocktail menus?
Yes. So basically, I meet with a bar or restaurant, so say like Blue Door, and we sit there and they come up with the ingredients for the mocktails, and then they send me the information, and I print out the menus, I sell the tickets, and come up with a theme, and basically promote it.
So it originally started as the Midland Sobriety Society.
I really feel like the word sobriety like freaked bars out. They didn't really know how to market sobriety in their like nightlife, I
That
guess.
makes sense, yeah.
I kind of got turned away a few times. And so
Okay, so it was just sort of the word sobriety kind of
Yeah.
they were fearful of it.
Which is a scary word, but, you know,
Why did you start this society and these events in the first place?
almost 2 years ago, I quit drinking alcohol, and, I basically, like, I felt like I didn't wanna not go out anymore. Like, I still wanted to go out with my friends, and I would, and they wouldn't have any options, like, at our local restaurants and bars, and so they'd offer me, like, a cup of grenadine, really, which is just sugar,
Yeah.
just, like, kinda nasty.
Gross.
It just didn't feel like we were very inclusive in Midland, and so I thought maybe if I asked the bars, just ask them to put the mocktails on their menus, maybe they would. And then I figured maybe make it an event, um, just to kinda get people, like, talking about it and also kickstart the movement in West Texas.
Let them know there's still fun to be had
Yes,
when you're not drinking.
exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, the what inspired me to do it really was, when I went to Vegas, was my first sober trip, so that makes a lot of sense. But anyways, in Las Vegas, they really didn't make you feel, like, bad about not drinking anywhere I went. Like, we went to Toca Madera, and they just had a zero proof list of drinks, and you order your drink and you move on, and you don't have to sit there and, like, come up with a drink with the waitress and then talk
Yeah.
about why you're sober.
Right.
So
Yeah, because before, I feel like it was you would get, like, a fake vodka soda
mhm.
or whatever, and it would just be sparkling water with some lime in it, and now things have really evolved to, like, be more intricate and exciting almost.
Yeah, like the adaptogens, like the magnesium and recess mood powders and all of that in other places they're kind of adding into these zero proof drinks. Like eventually I really want us to do the same thing with that so that there's a purpose behind your drinking and you're not just drinking like a cup of sugar or we drink coffee for the caffeine.
Right.
People obviously drink alcohol for the alcohol. So there should also be an alternative like to relax
Mhm.
with, which I find with, some of the different adaptogens that I drink,
Nice.
which actually brought y'all a few
Oh.
Oh, thank
samples
you.
too.
We love gifts. I read on your website you had to break up with alcohol. Like, what does that mean?
So my little brother proposed to his girlfriend, at that time, and he's 4 years younger than me, and so it just kind of I feel like it woke me up to just the fact that um, I wasn't married yet, or I wasn't even on the way to that, and it just kind of, like, forced me to look at my own life, and I wasn't happy with where I was at, and I felt like I either needed to make a change or it would just stay the same. And so I just felt like I had just a really it's kind of like a breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
And I just decided like I had to stop. I had to just like become obsessed with like not drinking.
I like that. Like in October, I decided to do sober October, and it extended through November and into December. And it was like once, that first 30 days passed, it was like, it's actually fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun to like go out and be social and figure out the different mocktails to have. And I think that was the most interesting part to me. It was just, I didn't feel awkward or like
Yeah.
not
It's like
accepted
more
socially.
fun.
Yeah.
Like it's actually like I feel more like myself now.
Yeah.
Like I used to really think I needed to drink to be myself and have my personality, and all it was doing was completely like shutting me down
Yeah.
and putting me in a bad mood. And um I don't know, I was so focused on like getting there just to get to the like alcohol, and it was all about like, when you're getting your next drink instead of like actually socializing.
Mm-hmm.
Like at these events, like I really feel like we're genuinely like socializing with each other,
Yeah.
and we're all really present.
And you remember it all the next day
Yeah, and you can remember it all the next day, and you can go home afterwards, and
safely.
you can go work out
Yeah.
after you leave the bar. It's kind of like a new life,
Yeah.
really.
I don't know if the word is movement, but I feel like there's a bit of a movement with the younger generations. I'm going to say Gen Z, millennials, of this like sober, curious type of mentality. Like, why do you think that's happening?
I really feel like alcohol is the new cigarette. And I feel like the younger generation, they just really see like the issues with it, like health wise, and how bad it really is for us. And I think they're pushing it out, honestly. Like a lot of people I've had at these events, they're young, like they're
Mhm.
younger girls in their early 20s. And it's really surprising, but it's cool, it's exciting
Yeah.
that they're choosing to just like come to these things, and they're just kind of choosing not to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I would agree that like, especially with marketing, right? I would say like the 30s and 40s, 50s, I guess, like smoking was cool. Like if you didn't smoke, you were kind of a nerd. I would imagine through the marketing campaigns, right?
Yeah, like
Everybody
Joe
smoked.
Cool, the camel.
Everybody smoked. Doctors in their, in their offices were smoking. Everybody was smoking on airplanes and things like that. I would say generally these days, the consensus would be smoking's not great for you, right? So is that what you're like? Do you feel like moving into the future, this next generation is they're kind of going like, yeah, alcohol is pretty bad for you too,
Yeah.
and so it's not cool like we were brought up to think.
Yeah, like my childhood, all of the movies and the reality TV shows, it was like Jersey Shore and party movies. I mean, it was all about partying. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of what's natural. I assumed that's just what you need to do to stand out.
Yeah.
And
Have a martini or a bourbon.
yeah,
Smoke your cigarette.
yeah.
For the person who's like wanting to sort of what you call they're kind of sober curious, like what advice do you have them for your type of events or just in general?
I definitely, yeah, like I suggest if you're drinking daily, you definitely want to consult with a doctor before you just quit. I mean, I quit just cold turkey. I really researched it and looked up like the vitamins to take to help me. I just kind of became like obsessed with like stopping drinking. And so the best advice is definitely just to like give in to the sugar cravings, like super hardcore. Just I had like an ice cream like every day, probably for 3 months. I had like a strawberry ice cream.
Yum.
And definitely take your vitamins, take like magnesium and zinc and vitamin B. And then go and buy the high drinks, the recess drinks. You can buy all of these at Market Street,
Mm-hmm.
HEB now, Vitamin Shop, and just have like your tools in place and come to the events.
One of the
Ew.
things that like helped me a lot was ginger beer, which I think my stepmother was like, "That's beer," and I'm like, "No, it's not. It's just a really good ginger ale."
Yeah.
But I would just pour that into like my wine glass and watch my Bravo TV show.
Yes. Like keeping the like habit of drinking like fun, I think is important. And that's why I really like these adaptogen drinks,
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like I would drink typically around 4 or 5 p.m. And so at that time, now I have like a recess
Mm-hmm.
mood drink instead. because of the magnesium. I think it actually does relax me, but it's
Yeah.
like keeping like, you know, emotional support drinks in your hand, just
Right.
make them healthier. Um,
And they taste good.
and they taste good.
It's
And
not
if
like
there's
just
like a
drinking
point,
water all day.
yeah, exactly. Just having like good like tools in place and then just literally taking it like one day at a time. 'Cause
Yeah.
it really is like that. Definitely the first month,
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Yeah, I agree.
What was the response from like your friends and family when you were like, all right, I'm quitting drinking? Do you get any backlash or?
I didn't really tell anyone until I was 90 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't want to make that. I didn't want to say it out loud because I felt like people could take it from me or put it down. I just didn't want anyone's like input on it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure I was really going to do it. And so once I made it there, obviously my parents were really happy. And friends, I do have some really supportive friends, but there are also people that I guess doubted it, which is fine. But I don't know, I guess I made sure I got to a point where I wouldn't care like what
Yeah.
they thought about it.
Like you felt solid.
Yeah, but mostly
you were.
support, honestly. Yeah. I didn't feel like I had people that were like pushing it at me anymore when I'd go out with them. Like they knew, they're like, "Oh, you don't drink anymore. That's cool, you know." And they would try my little drinks I'd bring to the pool parties or whatever.
Yeah.
I was mostly positive. I think a relief on my family's
Yeah.
part.
I can totally see it from like a health perspective, right? You're just like,
hmm
hey, from a health perspective, I just want to quit drinking. Like, it sounds to me that you weren't necessarily like, oh, I have a drinking problem. Like you weren't.
I feel like I did have a drinking problem.
Okay.
I was
Like
drinking
in
every day.
retrospect. Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely drinking at least like a bottle of wine a day.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like all day, it wasn't wake up and drink, but I would work and then I would go home and start drinking and sometimes go out, but yeah, I definitely had a problem. I couldn't like not plan out my next drink.
Mm-hmm.
So it was on my mind all the time. And so my health was really bad too. Um just like all around, yeah, really unhealthy.
What's the response now? Because it sounds like you're doing quite a number of events.
At
Yeah.
several different locations too.
Yeah, we've done quite a few. After Blue Door, I think the second time, finally like people started actually reaching out to me instead of me going into places that I used to drink to ask them. It's now I feel like it's picking up and people are seeing like that it's a positive thing. And it's really like the local bars, they can still make money with these
Yeah.
drinks. You can still charge, $8 to $10 per mocktail. And I'll pay it, especially if you put the recessed magnesium powder in the drinks,
Mm.
which a few have done, and that's nice. But I feel like overall it's been positive. In the beginning, I kind of got looks of,
Why?
what are you talking about?
Sure.
That I was
That
like,
goes
"Okay."
against our business model completely.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't know either, so I'm gonna just leave. It's hard enough to go in there in the first place.
So how do you promote these events?
So typically, I'll collaborate with that bar on social media, and I'll create like all of the content, and all they have to do is accept the collaboration, and they come up with the list of mocktails, and then I'll print out menus to put on the tables at the event, so it kind of feels like that evening, like it's more of a mocktail bar, and you
Yeah.
kind of come in and feel more like at home or safe where you can order off this list of drinks.
And other
But mostly
people
social
around you.
media, honestly.
If I come to your event, your mocktail hours, like, are you guys having a discussion or is it truly just like a night out?
No, it's literally it's like just socializing. Like we're not like sitting in a circle holding hands. Unless like you want to, we can, but it's genuinely just a chance to come and socialize with other people without drinking. And different events have like different activities. Like we have one coming up, and it's a bingo one. Those are always a
fun.
hit. It's kind of fun. We usually have some sort of an appetizer, and then I do like giveaways where I give away these drinks that I talk about. So it's typically you come in with whoever you're coming with, or you don't have to bring anyone, and we just hang out.
Just
It's
socialize and network.
yeah, it's just socializing.
Yeah.
We have gotten into discussions of, I have ended the night with like a few people where we're sitting around and we are talking about our different journeys, and it can be really, really good conversation. But no, it's not serious. It's meant to be like kind
You're
of
not going to a
lighthearted.
meeting.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not a meeting. It's just social.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that.
What's some of the feedback you've gotten from your events?
Um, I think mostly good. I think I have the same people that now come to pretty much all of them that they can. I have lots of people I've met and made friends with, and I've had people that I've met at the events and they hang out outside of them now, and I find that's pretty positive. I don't think there's nothing negative
Yeah.
coming from them. Definitely the activity ones do better, which I think maybe with anything, but people really like the bingo. So
I love bingo.
yeah, that one. We're gonna do another one at Curbside Bistro
Oh, nice.
with bingo too for dry January.
Would you get people in that were like normally just wouldn't go out to these to bars or?
Yes. So I've had some people that say, they'll kind of, we'll talk about why they quit drinking. We'll kind of talk about that for a minute. And then they're like, I don't really go out because I don't feel safe. And so I feel like it's like, kind of like it's good for people to know that you can like quit drinking and you can still go out with people. You don't have to be a shut in. You can still like socialize, and we don't need to hide from the world. It's not like you either drink and go out or you just go home and go to
Mhm.
bed. I feel like it's providing a safe place for them to kind of maybe even like re-enter the world
Yeah.
as their new like better self.
Yeah. I'll say that like the first time that maybe we went to like Tall City Brewery or out to dinner and I was not drinking, I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to order.
Right.
Like, am I still gonna have fun? And I realized that I'm the same goofy person
Mm-hmm.
without alcohol, but people, this is gonna sound dumb, like judge me less because they're like, oh, that's just you. You're not just like some dumb drunk girl.
Yeah, exactly. And Tall City, I've gone out there and I just kind of brought my own. I brought Hi-O's like in my purse.
Yeah,
But I think they had a 0 proof
they did.
beer at one point. I don't know if they still
It
do.
was like a sparkling water. Yeah,
Okay.
so like a seltzer. But
Because
yeah,
actually, non-alcoholic beer is pretty good.
I know I had my first one when we were in Missouri. It
Yeah,
was not
it's
bad at
good.
all.
HEB has one called Best Day Brewing.
Uh
I
huh.
actually had when I went to Los Angeles and did like a sober mixology class
Oh,
at one
fun.
of their non-alcoholic like wine shops. It's called the New Bar. But I tried that beer there and it's really good, and we have it at HEB. So
Oh,
it's super
nice.
cool.
We'll have to stop and get some.
So you've only been doing these events for like a year?
Yeah, it started in March was the
Okay.
first event.
Like, what are your plans? Like, you're moving into this new, 2025. Like, what's your vision of like where you want to take this?
So I started it really just like trying to just go with the flow and do like one at a time. And I didn't want to get too like in over my head with it. So I just was kind of testing out the different places and what's worked and like the different activities. And so I'm hopeful now that we've kind of gotten through a year and they were successful, I think it's gonna grow even more. And for dry January, there are gonna be at least 4 events. So like one a week. So I'm just hoping we make it bigger and we do more like maybe like a health event, maybe like coffee, breakfast events, and we just have more like get-togethers, and it just kind of keeps growing.
I have an idea.
Okay, go
Okay.
for it.
Okay, so think Schwartz and Sandy's, but we open our own bar and it's a dry bar, like a non-alcoholic bar. He's so
I
confused.
definitely like it.
I,
I love.
you lost me at Schwartz and Sandy's.
I mean, they're closing,
They
but
closed now. I wish I would have gone there.
my girlfriend went. She loved it.
Did she?
She said the bathroom stank, but
Okay, well, that's you
Okay,
could do it where the bathroom doesn't stink, but
that's
yes.
what do you guys? Okay, but can you see yourself like opening a mocktail bar?
Okay, so I mean, yes. Like
Okay.
eventually, like I do think Midland is not. I don't think we're ready for it right now.
no.
Because if New York can't even handle one without it shutting down, then I don't think we're quite there. But I think eventually, like I do want to be the one to open more of like more like a non-alcoholic, like liquor store
Yeah.
kind of deal, and then make it like where there's events as well. Kind of slowly
I love
work
that.
into like a non-alcoholic bar.
Yeah.
Where people can come and shop and buy all these drinks that I talk about all the time, and all these different adaptogens and vitamins and everything. So I do think eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what would be really cool to have, just like have a storefront so that I could do these events and just have my own drinks that I
Yeah.
really want people to try instead of
Well, you could do like shot nights with like
yeah,
Simply or Morph and like do the wellness shots and people
yeah,
can
right.
also have their mocktails.
Could
Yeah, are
do.
you looking into these sort of partnerships here locally?
I haven't yet. You know, it's still like it's kind of hard for me to imagine walking into a liquor store, honestly. Maybe a little less difficult now. Um, but I haven't really thought about that just yet. I'm more so like I'm really excited that Market Street has really expanded their non-alcoholic
Mm-hmm.
sections, and that HEB is finally getting in these drinks.
Yeah, I saw the zero proof spirits that they had
Yeah.
yesterday when I was there. I took a picture so I could look them up.
It's really cool. Like Market Street, it's really grown. Like at first it was just like a couple shelves. And then over like the last couple years, like I've just watched it like completely take over the sports nutrition section there. And now it's
Nice.
like even have like a high like tree tower of boxes of drinks. It's just
Yeah.
so cool. Like you can't miss it now.
I love it.
And what is your background? You're not an events planner professionally, like what do you do for a living?
So I'm a realtor. And then I have a real estate photography company. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
and then do social media. So I've been in real estate about 10 years.
So this
So
isn't really necessarily you started this like as a business model per se. You're kind of just
No.
feeling it out.
It's kind of just like it's just kind of my like side thing.
Your side hustle.
Kind of like my little, yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's kind of like my way of giving back, but also it's I feel like it's holding me accountable too.
Mhm.
Mm.
So it's kind of it's helping me, but also hopefully helping other people, and it's
I
just
think
kind
it
of
is
a
for
win-win.
sure.
You have to be passionate about it, right? In
Yeah.
order to keep it going. And I'm sure people can see how passionate you are.
Yeah, I really am. And it's a really good excuse to go out of town and do research.
Yeah.
Because I really find a lot of um like inspiration when I go to other like big cities and see what they're doing. And I have a lot of like conversations like online, like communication with other towns that are doing similar things, like people that have similar like communities, and they get together and they're trying to get together and have like getaways, like what
Mhm.
is
Mm.
I don't know what that's called.
Retreat?
Yeah, retreats.
Okay.
But not like they're not like weird retreats, you know?
Okay.
I mean, maybe
I believe
I
you.
don't know. I haven't been yet, but I'm thinking of going to one. There's someone called Sober in Seattle, and they're doing one in Texas
Oh, nice.
this year. So I'm thinking of going to that one and meeting some of these like-minded people that are doing this in other cities and comparing notes.
Yeah. I like that.
So
Where in Texas is it? Do you know?
it'll be in Bandera, which I haven't been there.
I love
but
Bandera.
Yeah,
It's so cute.
I'm
I
excited.
haven't been in
I'm
a
definitely gonna
very
do
long
that.
time, but yeah.
So do you have any personal favorite mocktails?
I really love like Katy Perry's. I say Desoy, but I know that's not what it is. It's like Desai, but her
Okay.
drinks, she has like a rosé that she created whenever I guess she was pregnant, and she
Okay.
still wanted to drink rosé, so she came up with her whole brand, and those are my favorite, and they have adaptogens in them, so they
Nice.
have like the magnesium and lion's mane mushroom and reishi mushroom in them
Yeah.
to help you they kind of do something for you, and you can buy them at Market Street. now.
Nice.
So are the celebrities jumping on this
I
sort
think
of like
so.
kick
Yeah.
here? I
Yeah.
don't want to call it kick, but I mean,
Definitely the Bravo celebrities.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, what's the lover boy what called?
Loverboy,
But they have
the
they have
sober
Flower
one.
Boy.
Oh, okay. I haven't
And I
tried
think
it.
it's supposed to be like all the adaptogens and stuff.
Actually, I think I have tried it. I think I did.
Okay.
I bought it in LA in
Nice.
that store in that shop and tried it.
for me as a marketing guy, I'm always looking to that, but I want to think it further than just like a marketing play, right? Like I don't want to be like, oh, this is a good money making kind
Yeah.
of model here, but I'm just curious, I am obviously curious of like where you can take this.
Even like in the bigger cities though, it's so new. Like there's literally like one or two groups, and then like you can find like one non-alcoholic bar.
Mm-hmm.
And the one I went to one in New York City this year, when I went there for my 30th, and it's already shut down.
Was
So
it
it's
Carl's?
no,
Oh, okay.
no, that opened like right after,
Okay.
but it like didn't make it in New York,
Wow.
so it's concerning.
Well, why do
Yeah.
you think that is?
I don't know. I actually really don't know because I feel like we're ready for it. Definitely in the bigger cities. Um,
Maybe
I
they
don't
shouldn't
know.
have the right like marketing and advertising.
Maybe they went too fast. Maybe
Yeah.
they didn't take it slow enough. I feel like you have to really like take your time with something like this.
Is this the new vegan almost, right? Like it took
Yeah,
it took a
maybe.
while for vegan food or cuisine or restaurants. It took the better part of a decade or more
Yeah.
for people to kind of come around and not scoff at people to go, "You're vegan?
Yeah.
Gross. Like
I
what are you
think it's
doing?"
like sober curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like people, I feel like they don't want to, you don't have to like, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say like, you don't have to tell people like, I'm
Mhm.
sober. I'm never drinking again. Like you don't owe anybody that. So I think instead they've come up with the sober curious
Yeah.
term,
Okay.
which still has sober in it. So it's interesting.
And I would agree with it, right? Like I think in the beginning you would probably go out and go like, "I'm sober," or "I'm not drinking," and almost feel like you have to announce it
Well, they're like,
to
you're
people.
pregnant.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And like, no,
I'm so happy I'm
I just,
at the age now where if I say I'm not drinking, nobody assumes
They-
it's because I'm pregnant.
okay. Well,
Like you don't,
Still
yeah,
mine.
they either assume you're pregnant or they assume like you have a issue.
yeah.
Like
They
you're
say, oh, you don't have a problem.
Right.
You don't
Right.
need, you're not an alcoholic.
Like you
That's
can
been
have
said
one.
to me.
Yeah.
You're not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
That's what my best
yeah.
friend said to me.
right? Just like, I mean, yeah, I am.
I think we'll get there over the next few years.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, right, where you don't
Yeah.
have to feel like you have to announce that you're not drinking.
Yeah.
Like years back, I would have friends and they'd be in the bar every Sunday watching football all day, right? Fantasy football and the such in a bar. And at just one point I was like, I'm not going to drink today, but it wasn't necessarily a health reason. It wasn't necessarily
You just didn't want to.
yeah, I had an issue. It was just sort of this, a lot of it was just like, this
I
is
don't want to spend the
expensive.
money. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
expensive.
It's very expensive.
I
Yeah.
was sitting there going like, just give me, but to that point, I'm in a bar,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not, so you had to sort of hey, can I just have a club soda with lime and make it look like I'm drinking,
Yeah.
but I'm really not, and almost like feeling kind of weird about it
Yeah.
Yeah.
to where you can just go like, hey, just give me that club soda. And nobody's like, oh,
Right, exactly. It should be like where you can just order the drink on the menu. Like,
Right.
if there's a 0 proof section, you can just, order that drink and we don't all have to stop.
Mhm.
The night just goes on.
Yeah.
a lot
If
stuff.
somebody were in another city wanted to start something similar, like what would your advice be to them?
I would say just go and talk to your local bars and you'll find somebody willing to basically start it and definitely like do more activities
Yeah.
because I think that works.
yeah, because you said you have themes.
Yeah, I usually, just because I like to do marketing and social media, like I like to come up with a different like look for each one. So every time there's a different vibe to it. So I think that's been fun. And then of course the different seasons and just make them seem like interesting. And sometimes I think it takes the bar's logo, like I take their logo and I put it on like the theme, and I think it kind of spruces up the look of
Yeah.
it for them too. I feel like it's good advertising for them, kind of for free.
We should do a sober speed dating for the singles.
I really do want to do that.
That would be fun.
But I feel like we need more men. Like we need more men in general
Yeah.
in Midland, but
What's the percentage of guys who are coming to these events?
we're getting more guys.
Okay.
Right? In the beginning we had we would get like one per event, and that was exciting, but I do like the last one we had, I think there were 4 men
Nice.
out of like 25. So it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I do need more like male kind of like maybe a manly activity. So I do need to work on that for sure.
Like
But men
some
can
act
definitely
throwing.
come. There's a lot of really good single women at these events. So
I'll have to tell my brother.
yeah, I would definitely encourage it. I just think I market it kind of girly because I don't know how not to, I guess. Like,
Sure.
I try, try to tone it down, but it's usually pink.
If I was a
Purple.
single male, I'd be like, there's probably going to be a lot of good looking women here.
Yeah, and they've
So
worked
let
on
me go.
themselves a
Yeah.
lot, so it's
They're
good.
health conscious.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Dry January, you said you have an event every week. Like, what's typical? Like, how many events per month are you?
So this is the first time we're gonna have the most I've had a month has been 2. So we're gonna have at least 4.
Nice.
So I think one is like on a Tuesday, and then a Saturday, and then a Thursday, and then I have a coffee one that's just like breakfast at
Fun.
Mulberry, where I think we can sit around and maybe even go over like do like a goals thing. Kind of maybe
like
that's
that.
the vibe for that.
Yeah.
Like here's a paper and write your goals down for the
Yeah.
year.
I
I
like
think it's
that.
important.
So I know you said you didn't look at any partnerships like locally, but have you looked at any sort of sponsorships with these drinks or
I
these?
haven't tried yet.
You
Well, what's-
I
should.
don't know. I don't know why, because I sell their drinks a lot.
Especially since you have like all the data
Yeah.
from like past events.
Well, I've done one thing where I did like a tasting at the hospital, like the Christmas Palooza. I don't want to mess that up. And I basically like I brought 4 of the drinks, and I had like I like gave out samples to the different like to the staff, like the nurses, and promoted it that way, and it really I feel like it worked. Like I ran out of all my product that I
Yeah.
brought. And so I don't know, I should definitely do that.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, Katy Perry obviously watches our podcast,
Yeah.
so
She's a huge fan.
that would be
she's
great.
an enormous fan. Reach out, Katie.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Can you see this turning into a business for you?
Yeah.
Is this
I
something
think-
you want?
I mean, yeah. I think that's why I haven't really gone like the nonprofit route necessarily.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure like what to do with it.
It's a
yet.
passion project right now.
Definitely passion project.
Well, we think you're doing great. I think like we love the vision here, right? Like we've seen your events. You're obviously promoting, a healthy lifestyle. The people that are coming out, were they already like very health conscious, or is a lot of them just something like, I just want to stop drinking?
I find like several of the people that I've made connections with, most of them had already quit drinking like longer than me even, and I do find that they're more health conscious, and they just they were like, we really needed this. We needed a way for me to like come out and socialize and meet other people with similar goals in mind, and we sit around and we talk about like travel and vacations, and I feel like we talk about like important topics,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's very like-minded people. And I don't know all of their details. Like I don't know each one, like some of them I know like how long they've quit drinking, but they haven't all like said like I'm an alcoholic and I'm never drinking again.
Yeah.
Like I don't know all of their stories like individually.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of what makes it cool, is that you can just kind of show up and be yourself and like talk about what you want to talk about. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Be who you are
Um,
currently, not what
Yeah.
your past
You don't have
was.
to tell your story, which
Yeah.
is
Right. You don't have to. You can just hang out, and then I mean people can come and order drinks too. They can.
Yeah.
They don't like the bar doesn't remove all the alcohol, but it's just like that day you're gonna feel like the odd man out if you're
Yeah.
drinking, and for once, and
Yeah.
we can feel like the normies.
Any other type of events that you'd like to see that obviously involve mocktails and sober lifestyles, but like other like could you see a prom or
That's, I mean, wow, I don't know. I don't know about a prom.
You just want to
But
go to prom
I
again.
just want to go to a prom.
you want to go to a sober
I want to go to
prom?
a sober
Okay,
prom.
maybe we could do like a dance of some sort.
That'd be amazing.
Like a sober dance. That could be interesting.
All right, we're gonna keep throwing ideas out to
Okay,
you.
I was thinking more like a yoga in the park.
Yeah.
With
Sure, of course.
mocktails after.
Or a prom.
Or prom. Maybe prom in the park.
That
would be great. That would be
Alright.
really cool.
we're gonna discuss it after the
Prom is crazy.
cameras turn off. I'm just thinking
That's
all the cool
interesting.
events that you could have, right? You could, I mean,
Yeah.
it just you have to integrate the mocktails into it, and the
I mean, any event that you see, where it's catered around drinking alcoholic
It's every
beverages,
event.
Yeah.
Like, like wine and canvas.
Okay.
Mocktailing canvas would
Yeah.
be great.
Well, if somebody wants to go to your events or they want to know more about Midland Mocktail Hour, where should they go?
Definitely Instagram or Facebook at Midland Mocktail Hour
Okay,
or MidlandSobrietySociety.com.
great.
But I would say Instagram.
And
Sure.
some of your events that are coming out in January 3rd.
January 3rd is the breakfast, and then I believe it's the 18th, the 21st. Don't want to get the dates wrong, but basically you can buy tickets at the door,
Okay,
and I think I'm doing all of them. The coffee one's free, and then the tickets are only going to be $5
Nice.
great.
for all of them.
You want to go to an event?
I want to go to all of them.
Yeah,
Let's go.
come to all of them.
All right. Well, listen, Kate, thank you so much for coming in today and letting us talk about mocktails and sober curiosity
Yes.
And Bravo.
and some Bravo talk in there. I'm going to not cut it all out.
Yes.
And listen, if you want to go to these events, if you want to know more, go to the website. We'll put it in the description below. And get healthy
Yes.
for 2025.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.